You want to know what I tell him? There's nobody in the world that can stop you. And you're starting to see that. You know, he's starting to carry us more than we're carrying him. And he's that talented. He's that good.
I'm not taking that for granted.
The Golden State Warriors have found their formula. Now, I do not say this lightly, but Steve Kerr has found a dangerous combination that just might fuel the Golden State Warriors to the playoffs. While the Hawks had the first taste, the 76ers had the first lethal dose. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Swish Culture. It was no secret that the Warriors were missing some core elements from the beginning of the season up till now. It also was no secret that this team has always been, well, great. But something recently clicked, and with the seeming alignment of the stars, the Warriors look to restore their identity as a contender. While the poor losses up to this point have all but deflated the entire organization and fan base, there was a spark that showed that what they were missing had been there all along. That one thing is bigger than basketball. This video will discuss this newfound motivation for the Warriors and what it means for the rest of the season. But before we get into that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Swish Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. So without further delay, let's get to it.
Are knocked off the number one team in the NBA this year.
The Golden State Warriors became a great team not solely because of the physical talent of its players, but as a result of how efficiently they both augmented and complemented each other. It was how well the team chemistry developed following this realization, and then most of all, the desire to succeed. Stephen Curry had been underrated as a basketball player his entire life. He was always too small, too skinny, and just not good enough. Draymond Green was never good enough at any one skill to be a role player, too small to play big, but played too big to fit in the small shoes teams would hope he would fill. And Klay was just Klay. With everything to prove, this underrated team set out on a mission to show everyone who ever doubted them that you don't need to fit the mold to fill the hole. Or something like that.
I told you guys a jump shooting team would never win the championship.
Following this clip, this team of underrated, undersized, and odd players went on to win 4 championships, forming a dynasty in an era where non-jump shooting superstars were switching teams like transnational women's basketball. Of course, there's nothing wrong with switching teams. Just own it, like these women do. Oh, but something went wrong, and following the 4th championship, the team seemed to have lost its way. The spark, the drive, the desire, something was missing. With the wins coming far and few in between, and frankly, their record still reflects this, the team had adopted a type of losing mentality that you only find with shape-shifting, team-switching championship deadbeats that never held a Larry O'Brien trophy. Imagine talking golf when you only been the caddy. Yeah, it's dope, but Steph Curry still had a nice stroke, leading the league in made shots from downtown. Despite teams catching up to the playstyle, they've still been unable to duplicate the volume and efficiency. Despite his heroics, the team was down for the count, but not out. A few random sparks flew, and soon after, the Warriors seemed to have ignition. Something that could have ripped the team apart may have just united a group of guys under something much bigger than basketball. While it might be too early to know how this season ends, it's never too early to make predictions. I mean, aren't they supposed to be early? Or put another way, stick with the ones you made in the beginning. It's no coincidence that the recent turn of events marginalized whatever personal issues the team had beforehand. While the notion is that these guys are playing to win a championship, in the grand scheme of things, the goal is to win at life. If Coach Decky taught these guys one thing, it's that no matter what personal squabbles may be going on, the relationships you share with these guys you call your teammates and the preservation of such relationships is what winning is about. And winning a championship is nothing short of the irrefutable proof that what you guys have in common is actually bigger than basketball. It's no surprise the team found a winning formula around the time it did. The energy emanating from the court when these guys play, even despite the losses, has made me excited to watch these guys play regardless of their record. Even though the team has recently gone 3-5 in their last 8 games, I can't, in all good conscience, count the 1-point losses against the Lakers and Kings against the team, as those were toss-ups and could have easily gone the other way if there was any modicum of fairness for Golden State. 2 additional wins would put the Warriors at a 5-3 record, and 4-0 since the 1-week reset that started with the Atlanta Hawks. The team played exceptionally well and showed heart against the Kings and Lakers with performances deserving of wins in both instances. When they followed that up against the 76ers, while there were some issues of sloppiness that seemed like the character of games prior, the Warriors managed to pull it together and close out the 76ers convincingly. With Klay Thompson out, Steve Kerr elected to play Pods in his place. Draymond quickly got 2 fouls, one at the tip, and was taken out of the game within a couple of minutes, leading to a rocky start to the game. Being that Draymond initiates the Warriors' offense and defense, his absence allowed the 76ers to take a 5-point lead on the Warriors by the end of the first quarter. This was despite the fact that the Warriors shot 61% and the 76ers were shooting just over 34%. Embiid, who had been questionable, started for Philly and was well defended. This defense only got better throughout the entire game. When Draymond returned in the second quarter, the Warriors played like a more cohesive unit, putting pressure on scorers and getting out in transition, taking a 2-point lead by the end of the first half. The third quarter was more of the same as the Warriors continued to slowly pull away from the Sixers, with Steph Curry expanding the Warriors' lead, making tough shots, hitting 4 threes in the third quarter, and giving the Warriors a 9-point lead going into the fourth. But no lead is safe in the NBA, especially not one in the single digits. The 76ers came out in the fourth quarter en route to a comeback. But unfortunately for them, the Warriors had seen enough blown leads for one season. At the 8-minute mark, with the new closing death lineup minus Klay Thompson, that is, Curry, Pods, Wiggins, Kuminga, and Draymond, proceeded to crush the Sixers with overwhelming defense. This lineup came out with its foot on the 76ers' necks. After a turnover on Kuminga, one in which he seemed to have been incorrectly called for a travel, things got heated, and the Warriors began their onslaught. They were getting stops, forcing turnovers, got into a rhythm where they overwhelmed the visitors defensively, then led with an offensive combination of Steph Curry and Jonathan Kuminga to absolutely crush the Sixers. Of course, Kuminga, being the man he is, ensured his opponent received the medical attention he sought, before proceeding further to ensure the team from Philly had their fill and could put up no resistance. Clutch shots were fired, and the win was secured. The last 4 games have told me everything I need to know about this team. We haven't seen this team at all this season, until they played against the Atlanta Hawks. So, for the next 3 months, forget what you saw before that game, and really evaluate the team you're watching. Are they a playoff team? Or is this just smoke? Post your thoughts in the comments below. But before that, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish!